Hello again and welcome back to the series where I try to turn $1,000 into $100,000, starting from scratch in a brand new town. Look at that sky and that snow falling down. We're officially in winter, which could prove problematic for our goals. We're up early before it gets too light out, so I'm using my headlamp here, and we're going to go ahead and check on our greenhouse and see how things are progressing. No lettuce yet to sell, but I think we're making some progress. 126 liters. I think once it gets to 500, we will have a pallet we can sell, which will be a nice little bonus. It's great to know that we have some money basically growing over here while we're doing other work. There's still plenty of water there in the tank. Now, today is going to be a busy day because we have this big job that we're doing over here behind the bowling alley. And I didn't bring my equipment home because it's just a little bit of a walk down the road. So we're going to take a quiet winter morning walk on down to where we're working today. And here we go. You can see I have some trees felled, still pending some processing. And I believe if I push through these bushes, yeah, here's my truck and our new tractor. Very exciting. And I did get a weight for it so it can actually lift reasonably sized logs. So I'm going to start by just cleaning up some of these stragglers here. This one's too heavy, so I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit. And in fact, I just mulched it into the ground, so that works out perfectly. This one we can pick up, so we'll go throw this in the back of the truck. I'm going to try to reserve the trailer for longer pieces of wood because we can kind of let them hang off the back a little bit, and that will be just fine. These little guys here will just take a ride in the back of the truck. I'm glad to be getting an early start today because this is a big job, and I expect we might not even get it done today. It's possible it'll take another day on top of this because there are just so many trees that we need to handle. But the paycheck at the end of this is going to be fantastic. In fact, we are slated to earn $10,000 from this job just in labor. Plus, we are keeping all the money we make from selling the lumber, or the timber, I guess. I suppose lumber would be after it's processed into boards, so selling the wood, we'll just say that and be safe. And I know I'm continuing to cut these up kind of small, even though we have a tractor nearby to grab them with, but I'm kind of trying to save that for the much larger, straighter portions, because the tractor can be a little time consuming for these smaller pieces. It's much easier just to grab them. Now, one thing I wish we did have was a winch or something, because we have this tree here that's kind of in these bushes, and I would like for it to not be in those bushes. Maybe I can move it with the tractor. Let's go ahead and try that. Perfect. Now it's out where we can actually see it and process it. It looks like there's another one laying right there, and then another one there. But for now, let's focus on these right in front of us. Let's get them cleaned up. Oh yeah, this is a nice straight growth here. We can probably take most of it with the tractor. Oh, in fact, it's light enough I can just pick it up. So again, I'm not going to waste fuel and hours on the tractor for anything I can lift up by hand. Just doesn't make sense because in the long run, the tractor costs us more than what it costs me to pick things up and throw them on the trailer. Well, that disappeared. All right, let's go ahead and get this one processed then. There we go. Now, one thing I do want to try is picking up kind of bundles of logs or wood. Maybe if I use the grab like a claw machine, I can kind of go in from the top and scoop it all up. And then instead of having to grab it one by one, I can grab a lot of it all at once. Now that's if I don't position the wood incorrectly, like I just did. Let's see if we can gather it all up into a bundle, and then we'll kind of go straight down into it with the grab, like so, and start closing this, and hopefully we'll scoop it all up, like so. Now, whether it actually goes on the trailer or not is the next question mark. And I did miss a small piece over there, but that's okay. I wonder if there's a better attachment for this type of thing where I want to grab, small bundles of sticks and logs rather than one big log. feel like this might be the best tool for the job, but it's not literally the best because it's not, the most efficient, but it might be the best that's available. We're already an hour and a half into our day, and, it's going pretty well, I think. I'm not too upset at all. We've got almost all the trees that we felled yesterday loaded up, just a couple more to go, and then we'll be ready to cut a few more down. I'm gonna park you there. Now, what I don't know with these front loader tractors is if it's bad to leave the front loader up in the air like that. I'm gonna assume it probably is, and I'll go ahead and rest it on the ground just to take some tension off of the hydraulics, I suppose. All right, this one's kind of a mess, but yeah, we're gonna definitely want to pull this one out of there. And then there's this little guy that I didn't notice before. And there we go. Problem solved. Let's grab this tree and see if we can scoot it out of the bushes. That's one thing that's definitely on my radar that we can use this tractor for is some kind of mulcher, maybe a forestry mulcher, to allow us to get rid of these, bushels of bushes because they're really hard to work around. For this, I'm just gonna kind of shove and see if I can push this tree somewhere that's easier to work with. Perfect. This tractor really is already paying off just by being able to move things around. Very handy. Time to process this one. These types of trees really are quite laborious to process compared to like a pine or a fir tree or something like that. But I actually get paid pretty well by the sawmill for these. I'm not sure why. I wouldn't have expected it because I believe you're supposed to get paid more for straighter trees that have longer straight lengths. But these are pretty crookedy and they still seem to pay me a decent amount. Maybe I'm just missing out on way more money from the other types of trees and I just don't realize it. That could be possible. This one will be a true test of our tractor. We'll just cut right there in the middle and see if we can grab those two lengths. Let's get the messy bits cleaned up. There we go. So now we've got two pretty big straight lengths to grab, which is perfect for this new piece of equipment. Well, not new to us. I guess going from the top down is probably the play here as well. Sometimes we can kind of angle it up and then loosen our grab and let it settle on down. Now this one seems to have, yeah, there we go. It seemed to have stuck to the forks there for a minute, but we're good to go. Now I'm gonna be kind of crazy and pop over here to this other one and try to grab them both. Just minimize labor as much as possible because we're getting paid essentially by the hour here. And I want to work as few hours as possible to make sure my hourly rate is what I want it to be. Almost grabbed it. There's a bit of a learning curve here, so you're gonna have to watch me struggle through learning this log grab, but I think it's gonna make a big difference. In fact, like I said, it already is making a big difference. And look at that. We would have had to chop those up into tiny pieces before, and now we're grabbing them both in one go. We are a little stuck on some tiny pieces of wood underneath us, but that's okay. We made it over. We just need to get them on the trailer. And I know I've said this before, but my hope really is that we actually get paid more for these longer portions of wood over the shorter portions we were dealing with before. Those aren't wanting to settle down, but that's okay. That's probably because of what's stacked underneath them. So let's pull back here, lower our front loader, and we'll go grab some of these stragglers. I'd say we're about to a full load. That could probably be trimmed up a little bit more. There we go. It helps if it goes on the trailer. Not like that. All right, that'll work. Let's go ahead and put one strap over these. So I think after this load, I'm gonna go ahead and fell the rest of the trees so that we know what we're working with. We can kind of get everything in position, maybe move it all to one central location, something like that to optimize our workflow. And then we can come back and get to work on this and really knock it out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not counting two smaller trees, we have 8 trees left to deal with. I think we can do it today. We'll see. It's taken me, a couple of hours to get where we're at, and I haven't even felled any new trees. And I do have one more tree that I felled yesterday that also needs processed and loaded up. So it is taking some time, but that's okay. We're getting paid very, very well for this job, which means we can spend a couple of days on it and still be doing pretty well. There's a piece I missed. Let's go sell our first bit of wood for the day, if we can avoid getting stuck on a stump. There we go. And here we go. First sale of the day. Let's see what we end up with. 1,047. Not bad. Not bad. A lot of that was pretty small. A lot of straggly wood there. So that's a good start of the day. $1,000 by 10 a.m. Not bad at all in my books. Plus, again, we're still getting paid for the job on top of all the money we're making from the wood. So let's get back to the job site and get some more stuff knocked out. Let's go ahead and get the remainder of the trees felled so that we kind of know what we're working with. So we'll start right over here with this little fella. Drop him down. Boy, that was fast. He'll probably be a pick it up by hand kind of guy. Let's see. Oh yeah, easy peasy. I'm always shocked by how easy these are to pick up. Very surprising. Not supposed to be trimming them all, so I'm just supposed to be felling them, but you know, I do get distracted every once in a while. Can we hit this guy here? There we go. And this one here. This one probably will not magically disappear like the last one. That's okay. No big deal. This is the elephant in the room, or elephant in the yard, I should say. It's quite a big tree. It's going to take some time to get it down and get it limbed. And there goes that one. Got a couple more here to do. We're going to have to drop this one in towards the interior of the property. It's going to be a bit of a mess. Maybe I made a mistake here, but we shall see. There it goes. And then we've got this one here. A little scrubby, kind of bushy tree over there. Let's see if we can even get this down. There we go. And it fell into 3 pieces just like I thought and on their fence. But it's not very heavy, so let's get it off of there before someone notices. Did no damage. We're good to go. And timber goes another tree. They sure do fall different when they're big. Now this one is going to be a lot of work, but also probably a lot of money. So let's start on this. There it goes. Yeah, that one even made a different sound when it fell. Interesting. All right, so all of our trees are on the ground. Guess it's time to get limbing. Some of these limbs on this tree are about as big as the other trees that we cut down. Pretty impressive. And I don't want to climb up there. That seems a little unsafe. So we'll just cut this piece and hope that the rest falls. And there it goes. Back down to the ground. Perfect. See if we can clean it up a little bit. Get some of the foliage off of there. Looking better. And then we have this segment over here. This really is going to be, you know, a big job to get done. It's looking pretty good. I want to kind of try to cut it in a way that we can just kind of scoop things up with our tractor and save ourselves a lot of time. So I'm going to try to be consistent with my cuts and keep things kind of grouped together. Some of this might be small enough to just grab. We'll check on it as we go. That length is probably fine. I'm not sure where some of this is coming from. Maybe there's a limb that has magically transported through the earth and is emerging via an eldritch portal right in this area. But we're just going to ignore that for now and move on. Hopefully it will resolve itself. All right, so let's get to cutting. See if we can just cut these in kind of consistent areas, kind of straight across. Maybe then we can come in with our tractor and just kind of scoop them up. That would be fantastic, because we don't want to waste a bunch of time cutting. We don't want to spend a lot of time loading it either. Got to be efficient here. That's the whole point of the tractor, to be honest. Be more efficient in our work. So far, it's working pretty well. I'm not sure how many of these bigger portions I'm going to be able to pick up, but you know, we're going to try and find out. Now, this is a big, big portion. We may save that for later. Let's get these kind of cut in half, because we really can't take the whole length into the trailer. So we do have to cut them down a little bit. And then this one looks, yeah, that's pretty long. Let's cut that down. All right, I think we're ready to start scooping with our tractor and kind of see what the situation is. So let's see how this is going to go. In an ideal world, I would be able to scoop up multiple pieces of wood at once. and go drop them on my trailer. As we all know, we do not live in an ideal world, so we're just gonna have to find out what happens. See if we can open that claw anymore. We cannot. So let's pick that up a little bit. Yeah, some of these are definitely cursed. So we'll just do our best and maybe go in from the top, close our claw, and pick up what we can. Hey, 2 pieces is okay, and obviously they're heavy because my back wheels almost came off the ground. So I'll take that. I mean, 2 pieces is more than we can carry ourselves at once, so I'm not gonna fret over that. Now the trickier part is kind of getting them to fall in the trailer where I want them. Unlike that, which is not great because now that log is balanced just right there on top. Let's try to fix that. There we go. Just scoot it right on into place and then knock the other one out of place. Perfect. All right, we're gonna move on. This might end up stacked a little chaotically, but that's okay. Right now, we're mostly just interested in time savings. We don't want to have to spend, multiple days on this one job, because any day now, we could end up with another big job, and we have to make progress on each job each day. Something quite strange is going on with these, so they're going to stay over there for now. As you can see, my plan is not working out as expected, which is, in its own way, kind of expected. We just have to adapt and go with the flow here. Let's see if we can grab another couple of logs. Seems like I have way better luck when I kind of do the claw machine maneuver rather than trying to kind of get under the wood on the ground. And there we go. 1 log, probably one I can carry myself. Perfect. No big deal. At least we're getting to play with the tractor. That's always a good day in my mind. I don't know, that one looked kind of heavy. Just like with anything, there's a bit of a learning curve here. And I haven't quite figured out how most effectively to use this tractor yet. That's just something we're going to have to figure out as we go. But I do believe there's merit in, like I said, the claw machine approach where we go in from the top rather than trying to scoot or scoop from the bottom. Though I'm stuck on something here. What am I stuck on? Hey, it looks like I resolved the portal issue we had. So that's pretty exciting. All right, let's see if we can... All right, what's going on here? What are we on? Oh, there's a log underneath us. That's the problem. It's too heavy to do anything with. Let's see if we can just get off of the top of it. There we go. Don't know how that happened, but we'll just ignore it for now. That's fine. All right, next batch of logs. We'll just go in from the top and just kind of scoop as much as we can, which looks like it's going to be 0 logs. Oh boy, I am starting to regret this tractor purchase because I do think this is actually taking me longer than if I were to chop it up small. But I haven't checked the numbers or anything. I do think that we should be making more money because we're not chopping it up as small. So that's something at least. Let's just go in this way. It also might be something to do with the type. Oh my, I think I've made a terrible mistake. All right. Oh, there it went. I'm back to normal. All right, let's see. Do we have some logs we can pick up here? We do, but something terrible is happening with our log grab. Maybe we should have eaten lunch. I'm not actually sure what time it is. Yeah, it's about lunchtime. I think I might be hallucinating from lack of nutrients at this point. It's gonna be fine though. I feel like it will be fine-ish. See if we can open that grab up. Okay, can we knock that kind of where we want it? Yeah, kind of, sort of. Kind of in the back of the truck. And in the trailer, that's going to be okay. I think an upgraded trailer is certainly something that I would like to do soon to make it easier to drop these logs into the trailer. Because right now it's a bit of a game. All right, let's see if we can grab a couple of these. Kind of get low to the ground without taking our front tires off the ground. See if we can just scoop under there. Sometimes if you wiggle it like this, it'll kind of work its way under, and then we can close the grab and see what we got. 1 log, perfect. 1 at a time, no big deal. All we can do is just keep going. We can't stop. We can't get a different tractor. We can't get a different log grab. We just have to keep using what we've got and hope that someday we'll be able to upgrade. Hey, that might have been a good grab. Let's see. Yeah, did we get... Well, we got 2 at least. That's an improvement. I will take it. I think these are going to go in the back of the truck, though. because I've totally messed up the stacking of the wood in the trailer, so we're kind of out of room back there. So I think I'm gonna drop these and then we'll go sell. Yeah, definitely not any better. So we're just gonna pretend that nobody can see any of this, and we're gonna drag all this wood very carefully over to the sawmill. Try not to hook it on anything. And it looks like we are involved with the forks on that log grab. I think it might be this strap here. That tends to happen. Let's back the tractor up a little bit further. Perfect. Now let's go get this sold and hope that the money makes me feel better about the efficiency of my equipment. No one said starting from scratch was easy, though I thought that the tractor would work a little bit better than it is. Again, it is kind of our first time really using it, so there's a learning curve certainly, and it might have something to do with the type of tree that we're dealing with because it's just a little bit more scraggly and all over the place. I'm not gonna worry yet. Let's see what kind of money we make from this load of wood, which includes logs much bigger than what I can grab by hand. And there's the payoff right there. $2,819 for that load. There's no way that that load would have been worth that much if I had chopped it into tiny little pieces. Also, I think I might have gotten it loaded up faster with the tractor than I would have an equivalent amount of wood by hand. So we'll take it. We'll just keep learning and keep getting better, and eventually we will probably be way more efficient than we currently are. Here's the true test. Can we pick up this big boy in one go? Let's find out. Claw machine method? That's the technical term for it. That didn't work. Let's pull this guy out of the way, and let's see if we can get our claw around this big log here. Looking good. Let's close it up. Nope, not good at all. Let's lower it down a little bit more. At this point, I'm just pulling my tractor around with the log. Now we can close it. Oh boy, that does not look good. And it did not pick it up, so that's gonna be too big for us, but that's okay. I kind of expected that, to be honest with you. It looks like a massive amount of weight, and I didn't expect this small tractor to be able to handle that. All right, well, I'm gonna keep on cleaning this up, and we'll see how far we get before we run out of light. I think I'm really pushing the limits right now with this log. As you can see, my tractor's kind of sideways. I'm also not able to like reverse exactly like I would expect, so I'm really just pushing it, but that's okay. If we can get this one on, that's a big win. I think that it's just too much weight in the front at the moment, but I mean, it's doing it, kind of. I just can't turn, but that's okay. All we need to do is just get it over here into the trailer. Let's see if we can drop it right in. Perfect. Yeah, I'll take that. I would like if it was not balanced on these poles, but I think it's actually just too wide to go down, so that's okay. That's a big piece out of the way. Let's see if we can get this one loaded up. Still too heavy. Let's chop it in half and throw this little straggler in the back of the truck. Well, this is new. I think I'm proving one thing, and that's that I have no idea how to use this tractor efficiently. In fact, I don't know the limits of the tractor. I think I'm expecting much more out of it than I should. So it'll be a miracle if I don't actually just destroy it at some point. Ooh. So here's what I think I probably ought to do. I think I probably should process these smaller ones by hand because I'm able to have a bit more control stacking them. And then for the big ones like that on the trailer, I'll use the tractor, which will still be a big win because I think we'll get a lot more money for them at that size than if we were to chop them down tiny. So we'll try that strategy now because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time trying to get this tractor to be something that it's not. And sometimes you have to accept both that things are the way they are and that I just threw a log through the back window of my truck. So with that, let's get the rest of this cleaned up. This trailer is definitely not meant to handle logs this big. And another $2,000 in the bank. Everything's going pretty good so far. I'm starting to get the hang of this tractor, and you can see that I've been able to get some bigger pieces onto the trailer. Still not loaded perfectly, but it's going a little bit better. I'm still not sure if it's faster than chopping it up small with our chainsaw, but it definitely feels better. And it's also important to remember this is the biggest tree we're dealing with on this job by far. And we've almost got it wrapped, so that's exciting. The rest of them should be much easier, much smaller in general, less volume. And judging by the state of the light, this is going to be our last little load of wood to sell for today. So let's get over to the sawmill and see what our total income is. Here we go, the final sale for today, but not the final income from this job because we still have a lot more trees to sell and we still get our $10,000 at the end of the job. So we're going to be sitting pretty nicely and be ready for some really good upgrades. Let's see what we end up with here. $21.57, almost $10,000 in the bank as we end this day. I'm going to head back to my property and settle in my cozy little tent for the night. Tomorrow we'll get back to the job site and just keep chipping away at these trees. Hopefully we'll make much better progress as we've gotten used to working with the tractor and we've gotten most of the largest tree out of the way. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next episode.